Welcome to episode 55 of the Valley Sports Talk podcast. Um, it's sort of the dog days of sports right now. We're about halfway through the summer. It's almost the August long weekend. Um, and it's kind of the dog days, It's NHL free agency has sort of calmed down. There's been a couple trades, pretty big one that we will talk about in a minute. The NFL's training camps are just starting, but there's not really much to talk about. NBA is free agency is done, all that. So, we're struggling to find some content for you, but we're committed. We're still here, and we're getting another episode out for you. So, welcome to episode 55. As always, my name. I'm joined with my co-host Brandon. Brandon, how are you today?
I'm good. I'm kind of nervous. Like you just kind of like out there for me for a while. So we'll see how the internet holds up. It's an ongoing issue, but we're just gonna keep it going. Um,
Yeah,
I mean,
for sure.
really, all there is baseball. Like, it's the dog days of summer when you get a notification saying Leonard Fournette's 260 pounds and you get excited.
Yeah,
So yeah.
for sure. Yeah, as I said, we're sort of in the little parts of free agency where um, it's just sort of the guys that remain. Nazem Kadri is so it's gonna be interesting to see where the heck
He's
he
just never
goes
gonna
through.
sign.
I don't know what he's doing, to be honest with you. Um, we had a couple signings though. We'll run through that before we go into the big trade. Today, the Penguins did sign for Dan Heinen to a 1-year, $1 million deal. Before the free agency opened, it was reported that he wanted 3 mil. Um, but I guess he had a good year in Pittsburgh last year. And I guess he sort of wanted to try it out again, see if he can maybe have another career year and make some more bread for next year. I don't know if you have any sort of thoughts on that deal. I know I literally just told you about it right before the podcast because it happened about an hour ago.
I mean, personally, I like him as a player. In the limited watches I get of him, I think he could have probably got a little bit more than $1 million from a different team. So I'm assuming, anyways. You never know. Um, but I guess from that, he obviously wants to. I mean, it's a 1 year deal, so I guess he wants to go in Pittsburgh's last sort of hero and see if they can win one more.
Yep, for sure. We have um, where was it here? Oh yeah, Jonas Siegenthaler the Devils signed Jonas Siegenthaler 5 year, $17 million contract, which begins after this season. He's a 25-year-old defenseman. He's a puck moving defenseman. He's he's a good young defenseman, and I think for the price, I feel like he'll be good. We'll talk about this trade in a minute too. Beside the newly acquired John Marino, as Marino is more of a defensive defenseman, where Siegenthaler likes to have the puck on his stick. They're two young D. Going forward, the Oilers also signed Jesse Puljujarvi to a 1 year, $3 million contract. I think it's sort of just a prove it deal to see if he can sort of bounce back. I don't know if you got anything more on that.
Other only like I'm surprised. I'm surprised he did sign back in Edmonton with all the with all the reports and stuff. So, I mean, has Yamamoto signed yet?
No.
So I wonder what happens there. I mean, I think with Kane only getting 4 mil, I think they have a little bit of extra room than they thought they would. So they'll probably be able to bring them both back. But it seemed like a month ago it was going to be one of the two,
I thought it
like
was two, and I thought
Yamamoto
it would
or
definitely be Yamamoto.
yeah. So I mean, we'll see. I guess.
The Blue Jackets re-signed Patrick Laine to a 4 year, $34.8 million contract extension, which is about 8.7 annually. I fully expect him to put up 50 goals this year, playing beside one of the best playmakers in the league, in Johnny Gaudreau. Would not shock me whatsoever if he put up a 50 piece this year.
Yeah, I mean, I think this deal is going to look really good in 2 years' time. I mean, you have a guy who can score 50 already, and then you add one of the best playmakers in the game as his line mate. They're going to be a good duo. Not playoff
The
worthy, but they'll be
No, not yet.
nasty.
The playoffs, The Blue Jackets also traded Oliver Bjorkstrand to the Kraken for a third and a fourth. Bjorkstrand's a great two-way player, and I was kind of shocked. I think this was sort of a cap space move to be able to re-sign Laine. I think Laine was sort of their priority over Bjorkstrand, but it was still a weird move because I thought Bjorkstrand would be a great second center.
Yeah, kind of just like if you think about it, that's the trade. The trade was basically Bjorkstrand for Johnny Gaudreau. I
Very
mean,
fair.
if you don't sign Gaudreau, you can sign Bjorkstrand. So it is what it is.
Yep. Um, Pierre-Luc Dubois accepted his 1 year, $6 million qualifying offer from the Jets. Obviously, there's been trade talks about him, but he will be playing most likely in Winnipeg for one more year.
Yeah, is obviously he's a good hockey player, but is he like one of the worst players in history just to continuously bet on himself? Like everywhere he goes, he seems like he's not happy and he wants to go some. I wonder where he's going to be happy.
I don't know, but he
Because
also is the only player to ever like people are saying like, oh, like, Tkachuk got traded so much quicker. Well, which we will talk about later. I kind of spoiled the big trade if you guys have been living under a rock. Where Tkachuk gave Calgary options of where he wanted to go. Dubois has literally said, "I want to go to Montreal." Like
yeah,
that's not how it works. So like, there's
no.
I don't know what Dubois expects people to do, but who knows if he gets moved. I think he'll be in Winnipeg again this year.
Oh yeah,
Um,
me too. It's going to be hard to trade him now.
yeah, for sure. The Penguins re-signed Kasperi Kapanen to a 2 year, 6.4 mil. Hell of an overpay for the production he's given in a Penguins uniform. If anything, I think the values of Heinen and Kapanen's deals honestly should have switched. Kapanen's getting about 3.4. Heinen's getting 1.
Yeah, I'm kind of I didn't think Kapanen was going to come back, to be honest. I feel like um he had one good year for Toronto, and that year he went to Pittsburgh, and I think they were banking on like him, Crosby, and Gensel maybe even just getting some chemistry, and it never worked out. Like he's sat on Pittsburgh's third line this entire time he's been there, basically.
Third, fourth, second. He's literally been all over the lineup, and he just can't gel with anyone yet.
Yeah, they've tried him everywhere and it hasn't worked, but they brought him back, so maybe this time.
Um, the Preds signed Nino Niederreiter to a 2 year, 8 mil, which I thought was great value for the Preds. He's a guy that can put the puck in the net, and he's just a great second line player, in my opinion.
Yeah, he seems like a predator to me when I think of that name. He's just like a hardworking, kind of gritty guy, not very flashy, but gets the job done. And I mean, the Predators just continuously find themselves like staying competitive. Like they're just never bad. They're never amazing. I mean, they made it to the Cup Finals that one year, but they're always consistently in the race.
We're going back about a week now, but the Leafs signed Pierre Engvall to a 1 year, $2.25 million contract. I'll let you talk about that because you know more about him than I do.
I mean, it's not really surprising. I feel like it was just sort of one of them deals where they were letting the Leafs sort of go through the first couple days of free agency and then see what they had to work with. He's just kind of a little bit. He's a pretty similar player to Mikheyev, honestly. He's quick. He's very streaky, like Mikheyev. Like he gets hot, and when he gets cold, he's really cold. When he gets hot, he's pretty hot, actually. He's definitely got some skill there. He's like 6'4", and he's actually a pretty heavy dude. If he started using his weight, he'd be pretty effective player. I think he can come into his own. He hasn't really had the chance, and with I think he'll have a third line role and see what he can do with it.
We didn't talk about this trade on a podcast, but it was about last. It was about a week and a bit ago. A week and a half. It was the Canadians trading Jeff Petrie and Ryan Paling to the Penguins for Matheson and a fourth rounder. We haven't really talked about it. It's not a huge trade. We're about to get to the big trade, but I feel like Jeff Petrie still, I think, has a lot left in the tank as a 34-year-old. And he had a rough start to the year. I think he sort of finally found his footing near the end of the year. For me, it was sort of weird. I think the fact that Canadians didn't have to retain any to get him. I don't think Penguins really gave up much. I think Jeff Petry's sort of just a older, slower, more sort of engaged. Matheson. I don't know what you have to say.
No, I think you nailed it. Like, I definitely think Petry's got a lot to give, but I mean, like you said, the Penguins are going for 1 or 2 more years, so who cares? I mean, what does Petry have? Four
Brandon,
years
keep
left?
talking.
Petry's got 4 years left or 3 years left or something like that. So I mean, the contract will probably be expensive later on, but I mean, Pittsburgh probably won't be that great like in 3, 4 years. So who really cares if you're paying players like that? I mean, Matheson's pretty good in his own right. Um, but you also get a prospect in Ryan Paling, who I actually like a lot. I think he can develop into a pretty good NHL player. Nothing too crazy, but I think he'll fill his own role if given the opportunity. And then Petry, I mean, he just made us to the Cup final 2 years ago, so getting experience is never a bad thing. He can man your power play if Chris Letang's ever hurt, and Matheson's good in his own right, but Petry brings that depth and leadership that you want for your next 2 years of Stanley Cup contention.
Sorry, I'm back. I have no idea what you said, but yes.
You made me work. I don't even know what I said. I don't even know. It could be all false. I just kind of rambled.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch that and see what you did
Please
say there.
don't. I don't even know what I said, to be honest.
Um, Getting back to the big trade. Last Friday night, me and Brandon were out at our buddy's house, having a couple drinks, having a good time, and all of a sudden we get a update on our phone. First of all, the Jays were winning 28-5, so we were watching that. Um, and then all of a sudden we get Matthew Tkachuk traded to Florida. We're like, oh my god, no way! Like Florida stacked. We didn't really get right away the return of for the Flames. We were just sort of like, I know me, you, and Menard were sort of like, oh my god, like what's the return? What is Tkachuk getting? Obviously, he's an elite player. What's he getting? All of a sudden, we see that Matthew Tkachuk and a fourth-round pick were traded to the Panthers for Jonathan Huberdeau, Mackenzie Weegar, third-round pick 2 years ago, Cole Schwitt, and a first-round pick. And I was sort of on the spot. I was 100% Calgary won, like not even close. And I still do think that Calgary won, but I do think it's closer than I was. Granted, I might have had a couple drinks into me, so my mind was probably all over the place there. But I don't know. I still feel to right now that that Jonathan Huberdeau, Mackenzie Weegar in a first going back the other way is enough for a win for Calgary. And in the last couple of days, both these players have came out and said that they are willing to re-sign in Calgary, whether Calgary has them in their long-term plans or not. It keeps them competitive for at least this year. So as of right now, I want to say that the Calgary Flames won this trade.
Oh, the Calgary Flames definitely won this trade. And if you look back at Florida's offseason so far, it's pretty bad because basically the way you can look at it is the Panthers traded a prospect, a first, and a fourth for Ben Sherratt, who's gone. So 2 picks and a prospect. And then Owen Tippett and another first-round pick for Claude Giroux. And then all this for Brady Tkachuk. So basically you can say they traded
Matthew,
Owen Tippett,
Matthew Tkachuk.
Matthew Tkachuk. They traded Owen Tippett, 3 first-round picks, Huberdeau, Weegar, and that other prospect for Tkachuk. So if you put it into
Not
terms like
saying
that,
that Tkachuk isn't a very good player. He's an elite
no, oh my
player.
gosh, no. But I mean, the Florida Panthers don't have a first round pick for like 4 years, and the only player they have out of all them trades is Tkachuk, he'll be really good on this team. But I feel like every team in the Atlantic Division got better this offseason except for Florida. And it's one of the most stacked divisions. You can't be getting worse.
Yep. I've seen some bold takes all over the internet that Florida doesn't even make the playoffs this year, which I think is a bit much. I still think that they are a better team than Ottawa um, to this as of right now. But I would honestly, it would surprise me, but I wouldn't be like completely in shock if all of a sudden Ottawa is sneaking in the playoffs over them.
I could see Ottawa making the playoffs as well as a wild card spot. Like with Boston having the injuries they're going to have to deal with at the start of the season. If Ottawa can start hot, um, it might seem like a bit of a hill for Boston to climb, and that might demotivate them a little bit.
Yeah, for
No,
sure. Yeah, it's very weird. After the trade, Florida immediately, it was probably agreed to before the trade even went through, but Florida did sign to Chuck to an 8-year, I believe it was 68 because he's getting like 1 mil in salary and then the rest is like made through bonuses or something. I read something about that. Like only 1 mil is salary and then the rest is through like signing bonus, something like that. Um,
yeah, it's something.
it's like an 8-year, I think 8 year 68 it turned out to be. It's a weird. I don't know if I want to go into the logistics about it because I might say something wrong, and I don't really want to say that. Say
The
something
only thing I
wrong, but
know that's fact is Mackenzie Weegar and Jonathan Huberdeau combined make less money than Matthew Tkachuk
yes,
is
because they're
making this
both
year.
on complete steals of contracts right now.
Speaking of contracts, I got a fun fact for you.
Ooh, I
Um,
love fun
I
facts.
can, if I can find it. There is a post on Instagram. Um, the top 10 highest paid players in the
I
NHL.
saw this. I literally saw this today. But
You've
yes,
seen
go on.
this? Dang it.
I saw it today.
Uh, so, and this is not like career. This is just since they've signed their contract, being the top 10 highest paid players. Only one of the top 10 highest paid players in the NHL has made the Cup Finals,
Which would be
and
Mr. Carey.
that man is Carey Price. So I can't find the post, but I
I could
mean you got
probably it goes McDavid, Panarin,
Carlson,
Matthews, Carlson,
Carlson,
Tavares, Price, Taves, Kane.
Mitch
I
was
want to
on
say
there,
who? Yes, yep.
and there was one more. Who was the 10th? Somebody was the 10th.
It was Taves and
Anyway,
Kane were 9 and 10.
so obviously Taves and Kane have made the finals, but not since they've signed their new
They've
deals.
won the
So
cup,
it's just kind of
but not since. Yeah.
it's crazy. It shows you like how the best teams in the NHL, like for the past 3 years, have been Colorado and Tampa, and neither one of them have a player in this
Right.
category.
Yeah.
It just
It's
shows,
pretty
goes to
nuts.
show.
It shows you why Toronto won't win a cup.
Exactly. But you can make the playoffs every year with those people.
Yeah, for sure. So now I think before we sort of get too carried away with some hockey news, we sort of just went over the basics. Um, Now we are going to, or since we recorded the last video, the quarterbacks and corner, have came out since we last recorded. So we're gonna go through those. You said you saw them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we can just talk to them a bit. Talk about them a bit, as I can't talk. Oh, sorry. Um, so for the people that didn't see them, we have Tom Brady, or I'll go from 8 to 10 to 1. Matthew Stafford, number 10 at an 85. Lamar Jackson, number 9, 87. Russell Wilson, number 8, 87. Justin Herbert, number 7 with an 88. Dak Prescott, number 6 with an 89. Joe Burrow, number 5 with a 90. Josh Allen, uh, number 4 with a 92. Patrick Mahomes, number 3 with a 95. We got Aaron Rodgers, 96, number 2, and the 45-year-old Thomas Brady with a 97 as the top-rated quarterback.
Yeah, I feel like this is very controversial. I mean, if we're talking about going into the season, like your back-to-back MVP isn't the highest rated quarterback. Um, and I mean,
I
obviously Tom Brady is obviously the best quarterback of all time, but currently, um, I can name a few quarterbacks who should probably be rated higher than him going into this season, but other than that, like there's just quite a bit of problems with this list. Like you said, what'd you say Joe Burrow was an 87?
Joe Burrow's a 90, and the guy that beat him in the Super Bowl is an 85.
Yeah, that's right. Matthew Stafford only being an 85. Like when is respect going to be put on his name? I
It's
don't think
not.
it'll ever will, but what's Herbert?
88.
88, two behind Burrow. Yeah, that's because he made the Super Bowl. It is what it is. I mean, you can tell me what you think's wrong with it, but
No, I definitely, other than the Tom Brady being one, I do think Aaron Rodgers should have been at one. I agree with you that. I'm honestly okay with Aaron Rodgers being the highest overall quarterback as a 96. I don't think that's a bad rating. Maybe a bit low. You could argue for 97, 98 considering he is back-to-back MVPs. Mahomes at 95 is fine. Josh Allen at 92 is a bit low for me.
that's
Like I
very
said,
low.
I think Stafford and Burrow should probably have been around the 87 range, 88 range, both of them. Because Matthew Stafford did just lead his team to a Super Bowl, and Joe Burrow, sure he made it to the Super Bowl, but the guy that you lost to is 5 overalls lower. Like there's something's got to make doesn't make sense there. Um, Prescott is a bit high at a 89. I don't know. I'm not the
Biased.
highest. I'm not the highest Dak fan.
It's America's team. He'll always be
Yep,
there.
that's fair. Justin Herbert 88 I think is fine. Russell Wilson 87 is fine. Lamar 87 is fine. Just a few tweaks, in my opinion, that should have sort of been on there. Overall, it's not awful. I don't I don't think it's great, but I don't think it's out of like I don't think there's any names on there that shouldn't not be in the top 10.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
And then we have the
What about Marcus
Mac.
Mariota?
I saw he's like a 72 overall.
Is he? Oh,
Yeah.
jeez.
Desmond
That's
Ritter's like a
tough.
68 and he's like a 72.
That's tough.
Yeah, I know it's nuts. Next we have the cornerback rankings. If I can find them.
I'm sure you can.
There, I got them. So at number 10, we have AJ Terrell at a 89. Number 8 or number 9, we have Marlon Humphrey at a 90. JC Jackson 8, also a 90. Stephon Gilmore number 7, 91. Marshawn Lattimore, number 6, 91. Denzel Ward, number 5, 92. Darius Slay, number 4, with a 92. Tre'Davious White, number 3, with a 93. Jerry Alexander, number 2, with a 94. And Jalen Ramsey, number 1, with a 98.
See,
Thoughts, concerns?
I actually, for once, I'm not going to criticize. I like the top five. Um, I think a lot of the top five are pretty deserving. Obviously, I think it's maybe a little bit easier to judge cornerbacks than it is um, quarterbacks because I mean everybody loves the quarterbacks. But is that Cowboys cornerback on here?
No, he's an 84. Thank God.
Good, good. Because remember, you and me don't trust it. I'm
No, he,
happy.
he sure he had the
Yeah,
most interceptions, but he also gave up the most yards allowed by a cornerback in
exactly.
the whole
Yeah.
year.
So I'm happy he's not up there. If he was up there, I would have been. I kind of thought he was going to be up there, to be honest. So I'm happy he's not. But personally, I'm like, there's always when you get to the 8, 9, 10 range and like 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, you can kind of intertwine them. But I'm a fan, like, just don't get the top five wrong. And I think the top five is pretty good.
So my one thing, I don't think Stephon Gilmore is after the year he had. He was hurt. He was sort of bounced around. I think Marlon Humphrey, J.C. Jackson, A.J. Terrell, Xavier Howard is at number 12. He's also an 89. I think they all should be above. I think they are better the cornerbacks than him right now. J.C. Jackson, Xavier Howard led the league in interceptions last year. A.J. Terrell had the most least yards allowed by a cornerback in the whole NFL. And in my opinion, I didn't really see Stephon Gilmore doing very much last year. He was hurt. He got traded for a 6th-round pick because he was hurt, and he's
Yeah,
still
that
an
was tough.
91. I get he is a Hall of Fame player. He will be in the Hall of Fame whenever his career's done, I think. But I see those players I just named being better than him right now.
No, I can agree with that as well. He's the guy that got traded from the Pats to the Panthers, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I remember Bray was going crazy about that when that happened.
yeah.
But
He
I
didn't even
mean,
do anything.
You do got a point though. If like you're getting traded for a 6th round pick, um, would you say he's an 89?
I'd say he's close. I'd say if AJ Terrell, Kendall Fuller, and Xavier Howard are all 89s, I think he's an 88.
Yeah, that's fair enough. But
Like
like
I think
that's
he's
what I
just
mean.
a tier
That's what I
behind
mean
those
though.
guys.
If we're only talking about like one overall difference, like they did a decent job.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that if I were to rank these cornerbacks, I'd have those three over him probably.
Yeah, fair enough. I can agree with that.
So now before we get into our fun segment, which is going to be me and Brandon do give our 10 out of songs we consider to be a 10 out of 10. Um, hot take alert. These songs might are that we say are 10 out of 10. Um, Also, quick plug. Um, I'm gonna get Brandon once Brandon sends me the songs. There will be a playlist for this on Spotify that you can clip in the link if you want to listen. If for some reason you don't know any of these songs and you want to listen to them or you want to listen to them again to see if you agree with us if they're 10 out of 10, the link will be down below in the description with our Instagram link, with our Spotify link, with everything. Unless you're watching this on Spotify, then you can just click the link and it'll go over to Spotify. You can't
That's
see what
cool. I
I'm
like that.
moving, but um, before that, I'm gonna go through all the AF teams right now, and I'm gonna give Brandon some names. Either I think they're fringe, or they're all Hall of Fame. They're not even close. And Brandon's gonna tell me if these players are Hall of Fame or not.
Okay, you
That sound
kind
good to
of.
you?
What are we doing again? What league?
I just AFC.
AFC.
Oh,
Okay, so
we'll
we're
do
talking.
we'll do NFC because both our teams are in the NFC.
Oh, but we're talking about football. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Fair enough. One player from every NFC team.
I'm gonna give you like one or two.
Okay. Sounds good to me.
And if you
Is
don't
there a
know who
Pat?
they are, um,
Yeah, that would probably happen.
then that's not good.
We'll see.
One sec, I just gotta find a depth chart.
Yeah, you're taking forever here, pal.
Shut up.
How about them Blue Jays?
How about I? Are they winning?
No, but they've won what 7 in a row now.
0-0. Oh yeah. How about them Blue Jays? All
How
right, here
about
we go.
them
You
Blue?
ready?
Yeah.
By the end of his career, will Micah Parsons be a Hall of Famer?
Oh my God. After his rookie season, if he can continue that trajectory, you'd have to say yes.
Okay, Dak.
Dak 100% will be. I mean,
And
you kind of
finally,
just have to say yes with like America's team.
and finally, Zach Martin, right guard.
I don't know. You
He
tell
will be.
me.
I'll tell you. Right, he
Okay.
will be. He's probably the best guard in football right now.
Well, then I guess he will be. I hate the Cowboys.
Oh, I do too. Don't worry. Okay.
God damn.
Now on to the Eagles.
Nope, none of them will be.
Jason Kelsey.
Yeah, I think so. The name is so big.
Yep.
I think it'll be hard not to.
Darius Slay.
Ooh, is he a cornerback? That guy?
Yeah, we just talked about him.
Yeah. Okay. Um, how old is he?
He's close to 30. He's because he was on the Lions for a while.
I'm gonna say no. He's gonna be one of them French guys. I'm gonna say no.
Interesting. Brandon Graham. I don't know if you know he's an edge rusher. He's about 34 now.
I have no idea.
No?
I'm not
Okay.
good with linemen. What can I
His
say?
career, he's got 59 sacks, 24 fumbles, 414 tackles.
I'll
He's
say no
34.
then.
No.
Like Watt's getting that in two
He's
years.
another one of those guys that's a fringe player.
Watt's getting those numbers in 2 years, baby.
On to the Commanders.
The what? Oh, the
The
Commanders.
Commanders.
You called them the Redskins, the football team. Remember
Um,
last time?
yeah, yeah, I do. Chase Young.
That's a tough one. because I don't want to say yes to every single player because the Hall of Fame's
You said
hard to
no to
get
a
into.
couple.
I know. I'll say yes. It's tough.
Wow.
I feel like
I
he's
don't.
got
I don't think he's gonna.
no,
No, no. Scary Terry.
no. I don't think he will by the end of his career.
I don't think he will either. Don't worry.
Yeah, I don't think he'll have any championships to his name, or it's not like he's putting up insane numbers. So,
Um, the the Saquon.
pardon,
Saquon.
Saquon Barkley.
Sorry, we're on to the Giants now.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know anyone named Saquon on the Commanders. I'm gonna say no. He's
Yeah,
been
I
too
don't
hurt.
think he. I don't think he'll be able to stay healthy enough.
Yeah, he won't. Running backs die out quick now. Like he's already put himself in a position. He's got maybe 5 years left, and he hasn't really done anything yet.
For sure. Okay. Matt Stafford. Well, we're on to the NFC West now, by the way.
Oh, Matt Stafford, that's such a tough one. If he can win one more Super Bowl, yes. If he can't, no.
Okay. Cooper Cup.
No, he's only done it for 1 year.
Agreed. Agreed. Um, these three should be pretty easy. I'll name them off. Aaron Donald, Bobby Wagner, Jalen Ramsey.
If one of them don't make it, someone's got to be sued. I mean, Jalen Ramsey would have to get hurt for the rest of his career and never play again. But even then,
George Kittle.
whew. If he can stay healthy the rest of his career, yes.
Trent Williams. You better know that name.
I don't know that name.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow. Left
not bad.
tackle. He's making the Hall of Fame.
Well, if I should know the name, then I guess it should be an easy answer. He'll make it.
Yep. Nick Bosa.
Um, he's also had injury problems, no?
Yeah, he tore his ACL in his second year.
Yeah. I mean, he's still so young. He is super athletic and stuff. I mean, if he doesn't get injured again, I'll say yes.
Fred Warner.
I think so.
I think if he keeps playing the way he's playing, yeah, he's probably the
Yeah.
best linebacker in football right now. So
Yeah, up there for sure.
okay, on to the Seahawks. We'll go DK.
No,
No.
no, I don't think so.
Jamal Adams.
That's a tough one. He's been pretty decent for a while. I'll say no. I'll say no.
All right,
I think I think DK would be a lock if Russell Wilson was his quarterback the whole career. But
makes sense. D Hop.
yeah, I think he's got to be. He was so good for so long.
Without a doubt, in my opinion.
Yeah.
AJ Green.
I think he has to be too. His
I agree.
longevity.
I agree.
Longevity. He didn't win anything, but longevity is on his side.
This one is going to be a hard one for you. Zach Ertz.
Zach Ertz. That is a tough one. I'm going to say no because he was in a tandem for quite a number of years with Goddard.
I don't think it was for as long as you think. Maybe a year.
Was it only a year? Oh, I thought it was like
Goddard's
3.
only 26, man. Goddard's only 26.
Okay.
Zach Ertz is about 32. Zach Ertz was the number one guy there for like a good 4 or 5 years.
Oh well, maybe he'll. I thought it was 3 years, or something like that. But
It probably was, but Goddard probably wasn't as established as he was like last year
yeah,
whenever
fair
they tried
enough.
to trade him.
Fair enough. So
This
maybe.
one
I
should be
mean,
easy. JJ Watt.
yeah, 100%,
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
100%. Kyler Murray?
I don't think he makes it.
I don't either.
Okay,
We'll
this
see if he
one
can
is going to
study and
be
not watch
very hard. This one is going to be
enhancement
the
videos.
hardest one you've done. Tom Brady.
See, you know what? he he won a little bit and he played for a pretty long time. So I feel like he has to just because he played for a long time.
That makes sense. I agree. I agree.
And he won
Um,
a couple Super Bowls, I think.
a
Couple.
few, just like a couple. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Mike Evans.
Whew. That's a good question. He's one of them fringe guys for me. I'm gonna say no. I don't know. What
Newly
do you think?
acquired Julio Jones.
What do you think about Evans?
I think Evans is gonna make it.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think Julio's gonna make it. I think Julio's on the.
I think Julio, even without a championship, is a lock, and that's not being a Falcons fan, just being a. He was the most dominant receiver for like 10 years.
Exactly. He didn't win, but his stats are beyond
Yeah.
better than everybody else's in that time.
Levante David.
See, that's actually a name I know. um, Another one of them fringe guys. No.
No,
if I can't say yes right away, I'm gonna say no.
that's fair.
What do you think?
I think he does. I
Yeah,
feel like I'm throwing out a Hall of Fame too easily, but I think he does it.
that's what I'm saying. If I
But
can't say
this
yes right
one,
away,
this
say
one,
no.
I already know your answer is gonna be, but I'm gonna give you why I think he will after Cordell Patterson.
See, like, is there? He actually, I know I'm thinking for a while, but there's like a Hall of Fame for special teams players as well. No, and
Correct.
he was a really good special teams player for a long time. I'll say yes, just not because of his play last year, but because of his career as a special
Yep.
teams player.
That's exactly my thoughts. I think he makes it
Yeah.
as a special teams player.
Yeah.
Um, this one is going to be an interesting one, but let's go with Kyle Pitts.
I mean, he had the I think it was second best tight ends rookie season of all time.
Yeah, and the best was
So
Mike Ditka, who is a Hall of Famer.
exactly. So you just I mean, barring
He's on the right
injuries.
track.
Yeah, exactly. You can't predict, but barring injuries, you'd have to assume.
It's about all there is on the Falcons.
It's
Maybe
not much.
Grady Jarrett, but I don't think he makes it.
You guys got a pretty young team.
Panthers, McCaffrey.
Yeah,
You do
even
if
though
he
he's been
stays
injured
healthy.
so much, he's
If he
so
stays healthy,
dominant.
if he stays healthy, I think he has a shot.
And I think he stays healthy this year. I already called it.
Interesting. Brian Burns is the only other really guy that I think has a sniff on this team so far.
Yeah, I'll let you answer. I don't really know, but there's one guy on the Panthers.
I don't think
You
so.
have
I
guy.
don't think he does. I don't think he's as dominant of a
Huh?
pass rusher as he should be, or as he
I
could
got
be.
one for you.
Okay.
Cam Newton.
No, I don't think
No,
so. No, I
me
don't think he
neither.
had. I don't think he had a good enough prime.
Me neither. But I think there are people that would say yes because when he was in his prime, he was like the
Really
best.
good. Okay. Tyrann Matthew.
Um, he's still fairly young, no?
I think he's early 30s,
27.
31.
Oh, Freg. Jesus. No. Like I said, if I can't say yes right away, I'm gonna say no.
I think he makes it.
Yeah, fair enough. You probably
Jarvis Landry.
no,
I think if
no.
he gets a Super Bowl, he makes it.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna get a Super Bowl.
I don't either, but I'm saying if he does.
Yeah,
You
fair
don't
enough.
know who this guy is, but Cam Jordan.
I definitely don't know who that guy is,
Without a doubt, I think he's in the Hall of Fame.
so I should know him. I don't know myself linemen's. What's
He's
his
33. He's older. Um, career, he's got 13 forced fumbles, 107 sacks, 385 solo tackles, 573 total for with 2 picks and 10 fumble recoveries.
Well, hearing those stats, those sound pretty good.
Yep.
Sounds pretty good.
Um, Marshawn Lattimore.
I know the name, but I don't know the player.
I don't think he makes it. He's a corner.
And what team does he
I
play
think
on?
He's on the Saints still.
Is he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I mean, he
think that
probably
if
beat Aaron Rodgers.
I'm gonna throw Michael Thomas's name. I don't think he makes it. I think if he stays healthy for these last 2 seasons, he makes it.
Yeah, the injuries the last 2 seasons really killed him. Because he was really in like the last couple years of his prime, and now I don't think we'll ever see uh the same player we saw before.
He does look good in training camp. I will say that. I've seen a
Yeah,
couple
but
clips of him.
training camp you're playing against people that aren't trying very hard. I don't think
No, no,
so.
I'm not. I'm saying like his solo routes.
Oh,
Like he looks
okay.
explosive and
I hope so because I mean, I don't hope so because the Saints have always kind of killed the Packers, but he was so good.
agreed. Um, Dalvin Cook.
Yeah,
Right, we're on to the NFC
unless
North now.
unless he gets hurt again, but he's been so dominant for so long.
Justin Jefferson.
Again, super young, but if he continues on this career path, there's no way he doesn't.
This Viking, they have a sneaky good defense, man. Like
I
really
know.
good.
I know.
Um, Harrison Smith.
I feel like I can't say yes to everybody. I kind of want to. I don't know. What do you think?
I think he makes it.
I was gonna say yes too, but I don't want to say yes to everybody because I'm
Yeah,
making it feel
I
like
think
the
he
Hall
makes
of
it.
Fame's so easy.
Patrick Peterson.
Yeah,
Yep, I
I
agree.
mean, he's what now? 76 years old.
I think he's 33,
Yeah,
32,
been
32.
doing it forever though.
Oh, he's been great forever.
Yeah. Damn, I guess just the whole Minnesota roster is going to the Hall of Fame, except for Kirk.
There is nobody on the Bears that I think will make the Hall of Fame right now.
David Montgomery.
No,
Um, I'll speak to a guy who was a Bear, Allen Robinson.
no.
Uh, there's literally nobody else.
The only former Bear that's going to make the Hall of Fame is Khalil Mack.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Oh, Roquan Smith is there. He's a really good middle linebacker.
I'll give you somebody who played on the Bears last year. Um, and his first name is escaping me right now, but it shouldn't because he was an all-time Packer. Jimmy Graham.
Jimmy Graham. I think Jimmy Graham makes the Hall of Fame.
I don't know if he's still on the Bears. I don't know if he's backing up
I
Cole
think he
Kmet.
retired.
Did he?
I believe so.
Yeah. I know he was a long-time Packer. Well, not a long time, but he was quite a number of years he was on the Packers.
Yep. And then he was on the Saints before that.
Did he go to the Saints? Yeah. I knew he was I
Well,
knew
he was drafted by the Saints.
yeah, okay. I knew he was a Packer and a Bear. That's about it.
Mhm. DeAndre Swift. There's not many people in the
No, I mean, yeah, I mean you can assume it's so hard to make, and I'm gonna say no.
Hawk.
Harden?
TJ Hawkinson.
No.
Yeah. That's about the only two that I thought could even
Jared
consider.
Goff.
No. All right.
um,
Jair Alexander.
um, I mean, if he can stop getting injured, he's still so young. It's hard to
If he keeps
predict, but
playing the way
from
he's
what we've
playing, I
seen,
think so.
if he continues that, you'd have to say yes.
This is an interesting one. Mason Crosby.
I think he has to. He was one of the best for like sort of the
A
mid,
while.
like from 2010 to like 2017. He was so good.
Agreed.
Even to like 2018, 19, he was still pretty good. He just kind of fell off last year and the year before. But he's there.
David Bakhtiari.
I think he's one of the best at the position we have today. So
I agree. If he can figure out a way to stay healthy the rest of his career, then yeah.
I know
I think even before he got hurt, I think he was in.
yeah, me too.
All right. Finally, probably without a doubt, Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers is a guarantee. What about
I don't think so. Just
Aaron
kidding.
Jones?
No.
No, me neither. What about
Sammy.
Sammy Watkins? Oh my God. What about Devontae Adams?
Yeah, without a doubt.
Oh, this is a good one actually. Um, oh my God, escaping my head.
Good at this ball.
Wide receiver for the Packers. Who's a
Right
longtime
now,
Packer who just came back?
Randall Cobb.
Randall Cobb.
No shot.
No, I know. I just wanted to shout him out.
All right,
Shout out
let's move
Randall.
into our fun segment.
I ended up with 10 songs.
Oh, you got 10? I got 7.
I've been doing them the whole time we've been doing the podcast.
I mean, I probably could put in. I just put in an 8. Now that I just literally saw it, and I'm like, there's gonna be. Don't take this with too much. Take this with a grain of salt. There's probably so many songs that we were forgetting about that are 10 out of
Oh, there's
10s.
millions of songs that are 10 out of 10s.
This is just our opinion. The first songs we saw, 10 out of 10. Do you want to do it? You want to go first, or do you want to go one for one?
We can go one for one.
Okay, give me your very first song.
I don't have them in order, but this is
I don't either.
definitely the one. This is definitely number one. And I think if you don't have this, I think this is the greatest song of all time. Bohemian Rhapsody.
I don't. Oh, I didn't even think of it, but I do agree. Now, I do agree with you.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
100%
That's
agree.
gotta be
That
the
song,
one.
I didn't even. Now that if I were to think about it, 100%, it would have went on there. That is completely my fault.
Yeah. No, that's fair. Fair enough.
My very first song is "Don't Stop Believing" by Journey. It is overplayed, but I still think it is a 10 out of 10 song.
It is a 10 out of 10 song. I also think it's overplayed, but that's what happens to good songs.
Yep.
I also had that, so I'll delete that real quick. My next one is 10 out of 10 songs, in my opinion, are just if you hear it, does everybody know it? Save a Horse, Ride a Cowboy. That's a 10 out of
Yes.
10 banger. See,
10 out of
exactly.
10.
It's people
My
moving, it
second
gets
10
them
out of
laughing.
10. My second 10 out of 10 song is "Life of the Highway."
Okay, I also had that. Dang, I had more than 10. My bad. My next one is Summer '69.
Yep. That's definitely up there.
Another banger.
My next one is "Wonderwall."
Wonderwall, that's such a good one. I knew you were gonna put it on there, so I didn't put it on.
Yeah.
You hear this being sung at all the NHL rinks, and everybody has a great time with it. Living on a Prayer.
We're halfway there. This is my one rap song that I have on my 10 out of 10 list.
Yeah,
You should know it. It's "Pursuit of Happiness."
I probably know it, but just off the title, I don't. But I probably
It's like,
do.
I'm on the pursuit of happiness, and I know.
Oh yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's
That's a
my
good one.
one rap song I have on here.
Okay, probably the best song on my list is "Single Ladies."
Yeah, your 10 out of 10 is like, not that it's bad. It's just completely different from what I thought you would have.
I'm just thinking, like, what would get everyone going? Single Ladies gets people going.
That's fair. My next song is "Chasing Cars."
That's a good one. I mean, there's no wrong answer here, right?
No, there really isn't.
I also had Wagon Wheel.
Wagon Wheel. Yep, that's up there. My next song is "Iris" by the Goo Goo Dolls.
That's such a good one. Another banger. I got Footloose.
Footloose. Yep, up there. My next one's "Hey Soul Sister."
Oh, that's such. They played it in our hometown. Crazy.
You got any more?
I got one more.
I do too. I only got one more as well.
If I had $1 million.
Yeah. Bare Naked Ladies, but I had to throw one of those on. My next one,
Yeah.
it's another overplayed one, but it's Mr. Brightside.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
Yeah.
Dang, some beautiful songs.
Some beautiful songs. Like I said, if you want to listen to any of those songs, there will be a Spotify playlist down in the description. It'll have The logo is literally called 10 out of 10 songs as thought of by the VST.
Deleted all my songs off my list. I gotta remember them.
Yeah, make sure you don't delete them.
I did already.
Send them to me after, and I'll make the playlist. But if you want to check it out, down in the description. With that being said, I think we're gonna wrap it up here. If you guys enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe, follow us on Instagram, follow us on everything. You know, all the social medias will be down below. And we will see you next Friday.
See ya.